Hello, hello! I am JD the Ender, your host, and today we are going to be ending the Scorpioness Najka. I have to say, of all the boss enemies and NPCs of the Dark Souls games, Scorpioness Najka and her betrothed man-scorpion Tark are the most intriguing characters to me. Uh, Now I'm going to cover this in great detail on another video. However, just briefly to go over what it is I like about them is their creator, which is Alita. Actually, I'm not sure if we know exactly who their creator is. I gotta look at that again. I have the footage for Tark that I'm saving for this video, but the creator of Tark and the Scorpioness Najka remind me of a character from one of my favorite novels. I actually haven't finished the novel yet, but uh, it's definitely written by one of my favorite authors, and yeah, it's a really cool story. I've heard that the developers of this game have based a lot of what they put into it on fantasy novels of their favor, so it's a little interesting thing, a little tidbit. Um, so just kind of going over the area that we're going to be exploring to get to Scorpioness Najka. It is the Shaded Woods, and it's actually pretty pretty large area. Maybe it just feels large because you can't see a lot of it. Um, but there is a pretty long path that it goes down, and then it's foggy. Like you can't really see. You've got invisible enemies to add on top of that, and then you really can't stop moving because there's so many of them trying to kill you. So I'm going to say definitely stock up on health items, or you can get the Jester Pants. Sorry, not the Jester Pants. Get the Jester set. There's one of the pieces of the Jester set that will prevent any enemies from being able to do backstabs to you. So that won't be as critical. You won't get any critical hits landed on you. But uh, I'm starting off here at kind of the end of the Shaded Woods, the last bonfire there. Um, so there are two enemies in this area from where I started that you can use the Fragrant Branch of Yore on. One of them's in that direction over there across the wood bridge, which you come back from. And then the other is a little closer to the entrance of the Scorpioness. Getting this guy right here brings me to my next topic about this area is, well, not my next, but another one. There are a lot of those invisible enemies in this area too, um, which you'd think you can see them because they kind of have like the weird like shimmer most media portray for the invisibility, but some of them can sneak up on you. Um, Going back to the Fragrant Branch of Yore, though, I didn't finish there. There's the second enemy that you use the Fragrant Branch of Yore on will be guarding a chest or in front of a chest that gives you an armor set and also a weapon. I believe the armor set is actually the armor set of the enemies in this area, the lion guys. I haven't used it, haven't really had a use for it. I'm a quality build kind of guy, so that's not really something I play with too much. I am working on a character right now where it's a like a caster build. I'm still playing with the stats and the distribution, the details of it. I'm gonna start doing some videos for that as well. Ah, yes. Man Scorpion Tark. He is my next topic for this video, and the reason is I like to use NPCs whenever I'm fighting a boss. I mean, it's fun and all fighting a boss on your own, but I mean, everyone's done that our entire lives. If you really want to, you can go through and you can experience the game without any NPCs or people assisting you, but I don't know. I've always thought it was really cool to just hang out, even if it's just with NPCs, and beat up on some giant bad guys. So you'll see me, I'm sure you've noticed in all my other videos I like to use NPCs. It's just, their meat shields essentially. But Man Scorpion Tark, if you do like using NPCs, can actually join you in this boss fight to fight his wife or fiance, one of the two. And all you really got to do is just find him and exhaust his dialogue. The details of where you can find him are actually going to be in my video that I use to cover him and the Scorpioness and Alita and how they are related to that fantasy novel. There's also an encounter with Dark Diver Grandal. If you're, got any Dark Divers out there in the community listening here, he would be over in the area where you can use the Fragrant Branch of Yore. I'm gonna have another video for him as well, where you can see all of his locations. So keep an eye out for that specifically. So some stuff that I don't really like about this encounter, honestly, is it's really just one thing. Like, I love the fight. I love the ferociousness of the enemy. I love that she doesn't really let up. There's one area during certain attacks where you're kind of safe if she's not in your face. That's because she's like just burrowing under the sand and coming up under you, and you don't really have a way to determine where she's going to come up under you. Yeah. So here's Man Scorpion Tark that I'm summoning right now. But what I don't like about this encounter is there is an item at the top of a tree in the center of the arena, and if you don't knock it down during this fight, you don't get it at all. And that kind of stuff is fine with me. I really like that. I like that kind of inclusion into the game. Like, hey, this isn't just an item you can walk up to and pick up. This isn't an item you have to figure out how to climb a wall so you can go do a thing to do another thing so you can drop down onto it. No, it's you gotta have the boss specifically attack this one tree. And sometimes she'll attack it a lot and it doesn't even do anything. Like, it doesn't explode like it's supposed to. But aside from that, it's a pretty fun fight. Kept me on my toes the first time I played through it. And she had a really good balance of like physical attacks versus like magical attacks, which is not really something that you see in a lot of enemies. And she's just got such a cool story. I mean, her and Man Scorpion Tark were created, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure by Alita, who's the scholar of the first sin, right? I mean, like, they're byproducts of this dude just running around and wreaking havoc on this kingdom, whereas he really shouldn't be, like. But it's not even that he should be creating like other things. It's just like he wreaked so much havoc on Drangleic, and for what really? Like, he didn't even, did he achieve what he wanted in the end? I don't think he did, because I kicked his ass, and you kicked his ass too if you have played this game, and if not, sorry for that spoiler. I should have said something. But yeah, he's a cool guy until he fights you. But he created, maybe it could be him. It could be Pharaoh or Pharos. I know it was either Alita or Pharos that created him. Again, I'll figure it out whenever I look at the Man Scorpion Tark footage. What else do we have here? That actually about wraps it up here, and we are almost done with this fight. Be sure to hit subscribe for more content if you like anything that you've seen of mine, and also smash that like button there. You also can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. I have the link below for Facebook, and you can follow me at JDTheEnder on Twitter. Or you can join me on my Discord server, which I also have the link in the description below for. So yeah, just about to finish up here. Ran out of my lightning blade, which is always actually really useful to have. And that slab I was just standing on, that's the one I was talking about, so that's why I was kind of standing there. And that spell, I think you actually get that spell from using her soul to get a spell instead of a weapon. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you next time. Until then, I've been JD the Ender, and you have been fantastic.